Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video here today. And today we are going over a brand new build. This is AFK Rafa. And I am going to say right now, I do not take credit for this interaction, but I do take credit for updating the build for UVH6. This build has not been updated at all since UVH6, but I give credit to Moxie for finding out about this interaction. His link will be in the description down below. If you guys are interested, go check out his channel. Most of you guys know who Moxie is. So the interaction here is what you're doing is you're using a mixologist, and there's 10% bonus damage that you get from the inactive mode. So like we're holding rads right now. So you hold rads. It's not one of the shoot dummies. And you just get bonus rads damage, which is just super duper nice. And then you aim, when you aim, you get a lot of bonus shock damage too. Let's see if you want to say you want to do this. Now we get bonus crowd damage. If you spot the corrosive, you get even more corrosive damage. There's way more corrosive damage. And then if you spot the fire, there's way more fire damage. That's pretty insane. So you're gonna want a bunch of beam tossers. Don't matter. Don't need the 49k one. You could get legendary ones. You can get the ribboness. Any beam tosser is really gonna work. All we really need to do is hold the beam tosser, and everything just dies and melts. It's absolutely insane. And then we're using the triple bypass for action skill cooldown rate. And then we're using the crit knife, so you get extra crits when you're hitting them. So that when you can throw your crit knife, so you get your action skill can hit extra crits for free without activating if you would like. The dancer, super important here. This one has action skill irritation, Tamario, Citato, the thrill. If you would want even more damage from this class mod, I would recommend instead of getting one of action skill irritation, I would recommend getting one of action skill damage. So you get even further damage. Then we're using the watch for dinner, triple siphon. This is really, really, really nice. This gives you even more shock damage. So this is really, really good. And then like I said, we're using the mixologist. This is the most important part. You only need the mixologist for this build. You don't need anything else for it. That's all you need is the mixologist, and you're set pretty much for the holding the gun and doing some crazy stuff. And then we are using 3 skill crafts, so you get skill damage, skill critical chance, and dealing skill damage on the 2% for stacking 20% times for 10 seconds. And then we're using action fist, so you get melee damage increase, which is not important. Melee damage is a dead weight. So melee damage is a dead weight. We do not need this. We were using this because of action skill damage. So when we're using our action skill, which we are always using our action skill because this is AFK Rafa, you get a bonus. You get more action skill damage, which is really, really good. And then we're using deft hands, so you get 5 more fire rate from it. 5 in jargon, so you get action skill duration on restore, so you can keep your action skill going. 3 in Mysterio, so you get 27% more skill damage, which is really nice. 3 in El Vante, so you get damage dealt if the shield's full, super good. Then we put 5 in the Barrage, so you get 35% more splash damage, so we also did this so we get down the tree. Then we overdrive skill, and you get gun damage and 10% gun damage handling, so because we have 5 points into Mario. And then 1 point into Saltado for when we're mobbing, so we get even more overdrive bonuses, which is super good. Then we put 5 points into Vitro, so you get bonus corrosive damage from your Peace Breaker cannons. And this is like a massive part of this build. This thing is a big part of this build. It makes this work really, really well. So what you're gonna use this. You're gonna want concentrated buildup. This is super important. This skill is absolutely needed to make the build work. This gives you up to 200% bonus shock damage, which is really, really, really nice. Then we put 5 in the pain reaction. Guns gain a chance off a ricochet off enemies with status effect. Ricochet is based on damage dealt. See, it says guns, but this does work with the Peacebreaker cannons. Because when we're applying a status effects, this is giving us even more ricochets. This is giving us way more ricochets than says. Anyway, it says gun, but it does work with the Peacebreaker cannons. It's actually insane. And then we're using enemies damaged by the Rafa's Peacebreaker cannon have an increased chance to read status effect, which is really good. You're going to want that because you're going to want a status effect. And then we're using 5 in Asthmatic Warfare, so we get more indirect projectile damage, which is super nice because this is super important. Then we're using 5 in Air and Spark, so you get bonus fire damage dealt of your indirect projectiles. And then we're using 1 in lateral planking, so you get a ricochet chance, which is super duper nice. Then we put 5 points in the Midnight Oil, so we get bonus corrosive damage up to 5% per second, which this is super good. This gives you a lot extra damage, super duper nice. Specializations, we're using the best fit, so you get damage dealt when shields are full. And then we're using now caffeine, so if we lose our action skill, you can easily pop your action skill back, which is why we are using the triple bypass. And then we're using I am gun, so your action skill damage get 50% increases from gun damage. This is super duper good. And then we're using a honed in mind, so your action skill gets a more critical hit chance and critical hit damage. I hope you guys enjoyed this YouTube video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.